Rock Inc. in the amount of $995,242.50. Blue Rock Inc. provided the necessary documents and provided project references with numerous local government clients. Blue Rock Inc. has also performed numerous similar projects for the city of Live Oak. So the recommendation is to approve the bid price of $995,242.50 from Blue Rock Inc. And you can also see the comparative bid there from Live Oak Management Group. So what's the pleasure of the council?
I'll offer a motion to approve the bid.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further comments, concerns, or discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? Aye. Opposed, like sign. All right, award of ITB 04-2024 bid is approved. Agenda item 6C.
What we did is anticipating that the council would approve one of the other bids so that we can get that project moving quicker. We went ahead and prepared a resolution that you see in your packet that has blanks that staff can now fill in with Blue Rock Inc. And so I will read the title only. City Council Resolution Number 2024-39. A resolution of the City Council of the City of Live Oak, Florida, accepting a bid from Blue Rock Inc. related to the Urban Avenue and 7th Street infrastructure improvements within the City of Live Oak, Florida, providing for the award and execution of a contract and providing for an effective date.
All right. Now, is this one that I have to open up for public?
No, it's just a resolution.
What would be the pleasure of the council?
Offer a motion for resolution 2024-39.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any questions, comments, concerns? Hearing none, all in favor? Aye. Opposed, like sign. Resolution 2024-39 is approved. Councilman Alford, seconded by item D.
All right, this is will be a discussion, possible council action resolution 2024-40. Within your package, you have a letter. I was asked to look at the statute as to our interaction with Suwannee County on the emergency management plan. I cited the statute and the applicable portion of that, which allows and authorizes and encourages municipal emergency management programs. If we don't have a standalone program, we piggyback then on the county. So the county has provided us with a form that they have, I think, already passed. City of Live Oak Resolution 2024-40. It's fairly lengthy, so I won't read it in its entirety, but essentially it says that we will be cooperating with and essentially piggybacking onto the Suwannee County Comprehensive Emergency Management Plan that they have already adopted. And so it requires us then to work with them and the state of Florida during any emergency situations like we've experienced several in the past. And so I found that the draft sent to us, and we cleaned it up a little bit, 2024-40 to be considered, and it being legally appropriate to council consider passing that. And you got the information from the Board of County Commissioners, and then the next item. Okay. So any questions?
What would be the pleasure of the council?
I make a motion that we accept resolution 2024-40, a resolution adopting the Suwannee County Comprehensive Emergency Management Plan.
Second. A motion and a second. Any further comments, questions, or concerns? Hearing none, all in favor? Aye. Opposed, like sign. Resolution 2024-40 is approved. Moving on to item E.
All right, item E is City Council Resolution Number 2024-41, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Live Oak, Florida, as sub-grantee to enter into a disaster relief funding agreement with the state of Florida, Division of Emergency Management as grantee, identified as contract number NBWPGJSFYWP6, agreement number Z4541, and providing an effective date. And what this is a program that essentially originates between the state of Florida and FEMA, and by us becoming part of that contract as a sub-grantee, we would be eligible for funds. I believe they're matching funds called for in this, but it opens up a pool of money that the state of Florida and FEMA cooperate in with distributing to the different municipalities, counties, etc. that are hit by an emergency. I believe this one, we did one last month for
Debbie.
and this is Helena.
Yes.
Helena, so we may get one for the third storm. but
No,
probably
we've
not.
already.
Okay.
Idea was long ago. We did
No, I'm
that.
talking about what was the storm after Helena?
Milton, we didn't have any yet.
Okay, we didn't, okay, so we won't have one for Milton, but this will allow us to become participants in that pool of funds between the state of Florida.
All right, you've heard council's input. What would be the pleasure of the council?
Mr. President, I offer motion that we approve resolution 2024-41.
A motion?
Second.
And a second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed, like sign. Resolution 2024-41 is approved. All right, now we're moving into item 6F through J. I know that we had Ms. Reddish and Mr. Bradford. Are you guys just on standby, or do you want to talk at one time? All right, Ms. Reddish, same?
So I would propose reading it by title only, and then we will then open up the public hearing for the second reading.
Sounds good.
Ordinance number 1524. An ordinance of the city of Live Oak, Florida, amending the zoning district to 0.338 acres, more or less, of land on the official zoning atlas of the city of Live Oak Land Development Regulations pursuant to an application LDR 24-06 by the property owners and/or their authorized representative under the amendment procedures established in Article 3 of the Land Development Regulations, providing for a change in the assigned zoning district from residential single-family 2, RSF 2, to residential office, RO, on certain lands within the corporate limits of the city of Live Oak, Florida, providing for severability, repealing all ordinances in conflict, authority, and an effective date.
All right, this time we'll open it up for a public hearing. Comments, concerns from the public?
Mr. Bradford, I got a question for you
But it's not time for that yet, sir.
when you get a chance.
So at this point, having seen or heard no comments from the public, we will close the public hearing portion. That'll be your time, sir.
Thank you.
Well, we did a motion, a second.
Motion, a second.
And then discussion.
Call for motion for ordinance 1524.
Have a motion
Second.
and a second. So we have a motion and a second. Any comments, questions, or concerns?
Oh, sure I do. Chair, Mr. Bradford, question for you, and that you probably answer all these that pertaining to you. As far as your intent for, because I'm concerned about Anna Street. And now I know you own property all around, off of Palm and everywhere else. That is there any intent to do anything or have roads or whatever coming towards Anna Street other than residential?
So that doesn't pertain to this item. However, I'll answer that question. This piece of property is actually located on Hamilton, Anderson, and Fur.
Right.
And the intent is to place multiple single-family dwellings on that property. The item agenda that you're referring to is H and I. And those properties adjoin to the 20-plus acres that we own, 30-plus acres that we own in total. And a portion of that will be utilized for industrial commercial type use. And then there's some intent to develop towards Anna Street and through to Hamilton for residential application.
So your intent to develop, that's just only residential that you're talking about for is,
So
when you come to Anna,
the property is actually, the parcels are split.
right?
Some of it's gonna be the stuff to the north side, closer to the, towards Palm Street, is for industrial use. And towards the south, towards Anna, there's some intent to do some residential, multifamily duplexes, possibly maybe a little bit more density than that. Just depends on the usability of it. When I say more than that, I mean maybe walk-up style apartments, townhouses, things of that nature. Nothing like high-rise, you know.
No, I mainly am concerned about the neighborhood itself,
Yes, sir.
and if you have any intent for road development where you connect to Anna Avenue.
I would love to see,
commercial.
connectivity through Hamilton, Palm Street. It helps the city utilities create those loops that help with some of the maintenance issues. It generates revenue to the city. But I would love to see connectivity between Hamilton, Anna, and at some point somewhere Palm. But there's no civil engineering for that yet. Everything that's industrial will be accessed from Palm Street, and everything that's residential will be accessed through Anna or Hamilton at this time.
So the residents up there don't have to worry about commercial trucks running through or coming up.
No, now, I mean, when I say no, we have no intent of processing any commercial traffic through there.
Uh-huh.
Now, if residents have any kind of, you know, that's not for us. We're not doing that.
Okay,
But there's too many places in the city where people are parking semis and not legal already.
okay, that's my biggest concern. I was just concerned about that neighborhood changing and commercial trucks running through it. Okay, thanks, sir.
Further questions, sir? All right, all in favor? Aye. Opposed, like sign? Final reading of ordinance number 1524, approved. Moving on to item G.
Ordinance number 1545, an ordinance of the city of Live Oak, Florida, amending the zoning district to 3.113 acres more or less of land on the official zoning atlas of the city of Live Oak, land development regulations pursuant to an application LDR 24-07 by the property owners and/or authorized representative under the amendment procedures established in Article 3 of the land development regulations, providing for a change in the assigned zoning district from residential single-family manufactured homes to RSF/MH2 and commercial intensive CI to residential unconventional single-family to RSF-U2 on certain lands within the corporate limits of the city of Live Oak, Florida, providing for severability, repealing all ordinances in conflict, authority, and an effective date.
All right, this time we'll open it up for public hearing. Comments? From the public? Seeing and hearing none, we'll close the public hearing portion. It'll be the pleasure of the council.
I make a motion that we approve ordinance 1525.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Are there any questions?
Yes, I have a question for you. The homes that you're building on there, how are you marketing those homes? And also too, what is the price point of the homes that you're building, basically in all of these different areas right here?
So we target affordable housing. That's a subjective term. If you're asking price point, we look at what the market is, and with the square footage, it should match.
So what is your definition of affordable?
Around the $200,000 price point.
Okay, so two.
Which for about a 1,200 square foot home is the average price point for that size and style of construction home with land. Through the research that I've done, I'm not a realtor or a broker, but that seems to be a very high interest price point, it's very easy for people to get approved for that, that are in our market area, based on the income. It doesn't seem affordable to some people, but there's a difference between affordable and low income, and where our target market is affordable housing, and everything that we've done has sold rapidly. There's a drastic shortage. There was a housing conference they did at Camp Weed, and we're over 500 houses short in our real estate market currently, and we're just trying to fill that niche within the city, and help shoulder the burden of some of these expenses by creating tax impacts and utility bills and things of that nature.
I understand that right there. With these homes, when I know you're not a realtor, but as you market our local residents, are they the ones who are purchasing homes, or are they becoming rental properties based upon people are buying these homes sight unseen, and they become part of a corporation where they're renting them out?
I wouldn't say a corporation. Some of the homes that we have built, obviously you can't discriminate to buyers. You can't tell someone you can't buy this. There's no deed restrictions. There's no ordinances that prohibit that. So we can't discriminate to anyone and tell them that they can't buy those as rentals. There have been a few of the houses that we built in Azalea Park that were sold to semi-local people that have chose to rent them out and have long-term leases, not short-term Airbnb. They're annually renewed year-long leases, but they're not marketed as such. They're marketed as single-family homes. The majority of the homes that we've sold have went to individuals, several local people, several people that have moved to our area from other locations, and very few have been of the single-family homes have been sold as rentals.
So this last question here. So as a businessman, as a person who provides housing, who I may say may have some type of influence and of giving back to the community, giving back to the city, giving back to the people, what can you do as a builder, as a developer, to try to help we say starter homes, people who are starting their starter homes. You got people who have worked at Pilgrims for a number of years, very settled, but they're still renting. What can you do to offer a little bit more, or to educate us as to how to purchase the homes that you have? How can you market to them? We sit up here and we give you incentives, but very few locals are purchasing these homes. And I would like to see more generational wealth being done. People have their grandkids, because home ownership is the first basis of generational wealth. But when we price it so high, out of reach of where teachers here, policemen can't even afford to buy what you're doing, what incentives can you offer to them, just as we offer incentives to you?
Can I defend that for just a moment? Mm-hmm. We have a local teacher that bought one of our houses. We have a law enforcement or a correctional officer that's in the process of buying one of our houses. Miss Freeman, who's a local resident, it was her first house, and she's very happy with it. She lives right on the corner of Walker and 7th Street. Our homes, again, they're the only thing that when people come to us, because they stop all the time, and I feel probably 10 or 15 calls a week of people wanting to buy houses, and they ask a lot of different questions, like what type of housing it is, if it's HUD housing, if it's A lot of times I'll refer them to some of the programs that we have in our area, such as the SHIP program that help with houses, and I believe that our houses do qualify for them. I recently sold one of my houses to a local employee of the Career Source. So there are local people buying our houses, and they do fit in that affordable price point. Again, if you bought a house 10 years ago, the price point that you're looking at for houses currently seems not as affordable as what you paid for a house 10 years ago. I constantly work on trying to find ways to reduce the cost of homes, because every day the price of materials goes up, and we've been able to maintain a high quality home at an affordable price. There are some things that I'm working with material wise to try to get approved to do within the city that are not quite conventional, but there's, you know, it's a process, and we're working on those things. But you know, I can't affect the price of materials in houses. We do market, which is why we've reduced the size and the scale of what we do. It's a fact of construction that every square foot that you add adds dollars to the bottom line of the house. And like I said, we do everything we can to keep them in that affordable price range.
Well, we'd like to see that some of our young working families remain here in Live Oak and live comfortably. So that's what I'm saying, what type of incentives that,
Yes, ma'am.
you know, local programs that you can build and they can live here and grow our community instead of having all the rentals. But thank you, that's all.
Any further questions, Mr. Bradford, on this item? All right, all in favor? Aye. Opposed, like sign? All right, moving on.
Let me catch up here with you. 1527? Are we on 26?
26 are H.
Ordinance number 1526, an ordinance of the city of Live Oak, Florida, amending the future land classification of 5.055 acres more or less, small scale of land on the future land use plan map of the city of Live Oak comprehensive plan pursuant to an application CP